I don't know. Those last two fights, they seem to
Yeah.
drag a little bit. You know.
Yeah, look, when you get higher up into those rankings, a lot on the line, and I've said this before with the John Jones and Rashad Evans fight. There's so much at stake, a little bit of banter back and forth, a lot of trash talking by Jamahal Hill and Khalil Rountree. Just not really for it. Just one of those things where Khalil knows that he's probably one fight away in a. I know it's a weak division, the 205-pound, the heavyweight division. 185 is actually stronger than the other two weight classes for once, and it being created. It's finally one of the stronger weight classes, especially over 205 and heavyweight right now. That being said, Khalil understands what's at stake. He had I wouldn't say a great performance yet, but he had a fun performance, I should say, when he fought Alex. Came up short, in that exchange, he was able to drop Alex. He was able to, show that he has something there. Coming off and beating Jamahal Hill, former 205-pound champion. That makes a lot of sense for him to go ahead and just say, hey, I'm winning this fight. Just keep picking and choosing my shots. Don't take any chances. Jamahal Hill is still dangerous. And if I'm able to connect with you, I know I'm going to put you down. And sure enough, he did that a couple times. And he had a great fight, man. I look, I'm not going to sit up here and criticize. There's been times where just even myself, and I tear myself down all the time about it. I should have dominated somebody. It didn't happen. And I kick myself in the ass. It should have been a better fight. I go back and I love Bobby Green. We've had Bobby on the podcast, but in that fight, I should have dominated Bobby Green. I should have. I didn't, and that's just the bottom line. I should have done more. I could have done more. There's been multiple times when I fought Jay-Z Cavalcante. There was moments in that fight. I should have dominated more of that fight. I didn't. Jay-Z was a freaking stud, strong as hell, big power. So there was a little more for being concerned, but I should have won. I should have dominated more of those fights, and I didn't. In this fight, he was winning the fight. I felt like he had the fight under control. Sure, Jamahal Hill is very dangerous, but in this situation, I think Khalil just understood, like, I'm winning this fight. I don't need to take any more chances. If anything, Jamahal Hill needs to be the one taking chances. I've chewed up his leg. I've dropped him. I'm the one dictating the pace of this fight. I don't need to do anything and take myself out of position. I know what's at stake. Maybe one more win gets me to another title shot of whoever that is. And I think, look, let's be honest. Uncle Live, he can wrestle. But not Jamahal Hill, but Khalil Rountree's got some pop in his punches, man. And it would be just fun to watch. To me, I think, you've got to bring somebody with Khalil Rountree's power against someone like an Uncle Live could make him respect him. Now we saw it wasn't a fantastic fight with Alex and Uncle Live, but I think, look, Khalil, he will bring the dog out of people and he'll make them fight. And I know in this situation, like I said, there's a lot at stake. And like I think even Khalil Rountree said, I was having a hard time getting a read on you. You're kind of funky. You're kind of all over the place, and those guys are difficult sometimes to deal with. And so that can also throw you off. But I thought overall, Khalil Rountree had a good performance. I'm trying to keep all this positive right now. Jamahal Hill, he seems like after winning the title, he can't buy a win right now. But that being said, he still has talent. He just, for some reason, I feel like he is physically looking in worse and worse shape every time he gets inside there. And that's not a dig at him, but he looked really just kind of, he had the cardio to go the 5 rounds. He had the cardio to push, and he just could have done more, but he just wasn't pulling the trigger. When you're losing that fight, you've got to be the one that gets off. You've got to be the one that tries to take over and switch the momentum in your direction. He never, in any part of that fight, tried to do that. And Khalil Rountree, I felt like just walked away with the fight. The leg kicks had a lot to do with it. Had Khalil fighting in a different type of way, having to switch stances, having to fight an unorthodox style on the stand-up that he's just not used to. And Rountree knew that. Big, powerful kicks, then the big shots, the big overhands, that were landing. All those things were throwing Jamahal Hill for a run. So I thought overall, though, great performance by Khalil Rountree. It wasn't the most exciting fight. But at the end of the day, I tell everybody this, and everyone that criticized John Fitch for all those years, and even GSP as he just was racking up wins and collecting checks, man, winning solves everything. Just keep winning. Keep winning, man. Keep collecting those checks and keep winning, because that's what it comes down to. The difference between championship money and number 1, number 2, number 3 contender money, it really just is based on where you're at in your contract, how well you do when you're at that top. Like if you negotiated an 8-fight deal, and now you're the number 1 guy at fight 2 or 3, you've got 5 or 6 more fights before they even start thinking about renegotiating because they got you at a low number. And now you're beating these top ranked guys and they're paying you peanuts on the dollar. So what you got to be thinking is, right now, I think because Jamal was a former champion, he's probably collecting a little bit more of a check. Khalil Rountree never been champion, so he's never seen that championship money. He never got paid, for those bigger purses. I mean, I'm sure he's making decent money, but I mean, the difference between being champion and making pay-per-view numbers or just being champion and making that extra money, saying like $1 million or 1.2 or 1.4, whatever it is, on being the main event and being a former champion versus being the number 2 or number 4 or number 5 fighter and only making probably 150 and 150. So you're making 300,000 for the win. That's a lot. That's a big difference. That's a jump in pay. And look, one fight sets you right back to the 150 or the 155 or the 185, 175, whatever it is. So that's a big deal. So I understand where Khalil Roundtree's coming from, knowing that he was winning the fight, knowing Jamahal Hill is dangerous at any point in that fight. Could put his lights out. Jamal's got some speed. I felt Khalil was just a little bit more explosive, but Jamal had moments where he could have touched him up a little bit more and wasn't able to connect well enough. But good performance by Khalil Rountree. This episode is brought to you by BetUS. Make sure you guys YouTube 150 for the promo code. Also, Element, use the link in the descriptions down below. Any product you buy from there, they will send you a bonus package of product if you use our link down below. Element's amazing, man. I love it. And I want to say thank you, man. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support us.